Across the Commonwealth, a revolution is rising, one loaf at a time. A network of farmers, millers, and bakers are bringing local grains back to the table. Nico Melas and his team at Millsong Bakery were twisting fresh pretzels when we visited them.
This morning we made 40 soft pretzels that will be dipped in lye before the bake. And those lye pretzels get a nice glaze on the outside of them and have a nice sweet taste. That flour was all from this farm.
Melas works with farmers in both Rockingham and Shenandoah counties to source his wheat, and says that this variety was bred to do well in North Carolina and Virginia.
So we use that whole grain hard white wheat plus some sifted hard white wheat, and we blend that with a little bit of butter, and we make those nice pretzels. They're delicious. I eat one every week at least.
But he's passionate about much more than just taste.
So what we're trying to do with Millsong Bakery is create a product that's beautiful, that's healthy, and that's delicious. It had to be all three of those and not just two, so that we can reach the clientele that we're trying to reach. We wanted to have a relationship with our farmers so that we can see what's actually being done and what are we actually using, so we can really, with integrity, speak to our clients.
In nearby Nelson County, Deep Roots Milling is also passionate about connecting customers with local grains. Co-owner and miller Aaron Grigsby has helped reinvigorate the 18th century Woodson's mill.
It takes the power generated from that water and transfers it through a series of gears and pulleys and belts to turn these 2,500-pound rocks around, and then we mill flour with it.
Grigsby and his team mill grains from across Virginia year-round and sell the flour to local bakeries, restaurants, and home chefs.
We mill probably 15 to 20,000 pounds of grain, of local, mostly Virginia grain, each month. Then we deliver to Charlottesville, Richmond, D.C., and places in between. We have really close relationships with most of our customers, so we sort of relish that interaction. Each time we make a drop and get to taste what they're making and talk to them about how the flour is doing and that kind of stuff.
Craig McClung, another member of the Deep Roots Milling team, started as a monthly volunteer before discovering his second career, not only grinding local grains, but also growing them.
It's a sweetheart situation, kind of sliding in with a farmer that I knew from buying compost from. And when I came to the mill, they said, "Oh, you guys must know William Hale." It's like, well, yeah, he's down the street. And they said, "We hear he's getting out of farming." So I contacted William and said, "Hey, if you need somebody just to ride a tractor to move stuff, I'm happy to help you," because I retired from my earlier real career. And I didn't want to see the farm fall apart. So he and I started talking, and one thing led to another. And he is now unloading all his history and how to do it.
McClung now grows popcorn along with seed grains in Louisa County, in addition to working at the mill. He also loves connecting the hard work on the farm to the flour in the pantry, and remembers when his daughter's 7th grade class came to see the mill in operation.
They gave them the run of the mill, and we were running just like now. And the kids, I mean, I think their eyes were just like so big. It's like, wow, this is how it was done. So to give someone the opportunity to see how it goes from a grain, or what a grain even is. The kids probably don't know what a berry looks like, a wheat berry, to actually being able to see the flour, come out of the stone and feel it in their hands, the tactile experience and the sensory of the sound and everything else. To me, it's important to do that, to keep that piece of history here and piece of culture.
The local grain movement has been fueled by the Common Grain Alliance, which connects farmers, millers, and bakers across the Mid-Atlantic. For Grigsby, it's a connection that brings local grains full circle.
You're kind of creating a closed loop within the local community, the local economy, to where the same things that are feeding in are also coming out. And really, like when you eat a piece of bread, you're kind of, in a way, eating the soil that it came from.
This same grounding in a simple and timeless tradition drives Melas.
I've got 3 sons, and my youngest, he's 5. When he was younger, he used to see me working with wheat, and he would say, "Papa's working with bread seeds," because to him, they're just the seeds that you make bread out of. He didn't have the word wheat in his vocabulary. And I love that the job that I have is so simple that I can explain it to a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old. I take wheat, here it is, I grind it up into flour, and I make bread. I mix it with water. I don't have a job that's so complex that I couldn't explain it to an elder, a great-grandmother, or a little child. Like, it's timeless. I'm happy with that.
To learn more, visit commongrainalliance.org. For Real Virginia, I'm Elijah Griles, connecting you to the people who grow, grind, and bake the grains that nourish Virginia.